Hello everyone, I'm Jeongchul. Now let's begin part 5, the DNS, the GUI tools. In this part, I will introduce two kinds of tools. So, webmin in chapter 17 and chapter 18, the DNS bind editor. Chapter 17, webmin. So webmin is the web-based interface for system administration for especially the Unix. And using any modern web browser like Internet Explorer and Firefox or Chrome like this, we can set up user account, Apache Web Server, DNS, or file sharing like Samba, and much more. And this one removes the need to manually edit Unix the configuration files like etc password. Let us or you manage the system from the console or remotely. So maybe this one is very easy to control or configure many kinds of the servers, including DNS, web server, or database, many kinds. So if you want to install or use this webpage first, the download from this website www.webmin.com download. So here you can download the package according to your the platform. In my case, I download this one, webmin no architecture RPM file. So if you are successful download and have that install using RPM, and after that, if you access like in the browser, https server.com and the port number 110,000, and after that, you need to log in as a root. Okay, then first let's start. First, I already download the package, the webmin here, and after that I am stay now in this directory, and so here h webmin just okay. In my case, I already install, and after that, if you want to use this webmin, just start your web browser. In my case, I will use the Firefox. So here, in my case, HTTPS. In my case, I'm using those names server.chur.com and port number 10,000. Then you can see username and the password in your host name, and username, in my case, root and password. Okay, now I'm successful to log in the webmin. So in the first page, you can see this kind of some the information about your system. For example, host name, operating system, webmin version, and the time, kernel, or system of time, process, and the memory size, CPU, virtual memory, like this. Okay, so here, now try to use, in my case, DNS servers. Okay, servers. So there are so many servers: web server, DNS, CVS, DHCP, IMAP, database, mail server, database Postgre. So there are so many the servers. So in my case here, I will use the bind DNS server. Okay, if you click this one, you can see this kind of screen. So here, okay, first part here, global server options, and the second, existing DNS joins. In my case, root, this one, the reverse lookup join, this one too, and this char.com. I already used this one. And one more thing here, existing the client view as well. In my case, I already using two view, external and internal like this. Okay, at first, in the global server options, let's check the some part. For example, file and directories. So here you can see some the statics for database dump for process ID like this. Okay, and okay, how about which one? Okay, bind config. So if you already configure many kinds of the file, especially this one, the main configuration file for bind etc name.com. So here no errors. So you can anytime check your configuration. And edit config file here or John default. There are many kinds of the options here. So let's test the John default. So here, if you want to create the default John anytime, you can create the default John. And later, you can use this one as well. And in my case, now the edit the config file. So here you can, in my case now I'm using three kinds, etc name.conf, root key, and RNDC key. So this one name.conf. So anytime here you can change or modify or add like this. So in my case now I'm using the controls for RNDC service and the logging and three kinds keys, the update key and John transfer key and RNDC correction key like this. And this is a kind of the global options. And I'm using also the ACL, three kinds ACL like this. So here, anytime you can add or modify or delete like this. And if we want to configure or edit the other key, in my case the RNDC key, so here I can add like this. For example, options like this. So anytime you can add some file or the keyword and anything here. So if we want to configure or edit, then you can use the menu and the set up RNDC as well. So maybe RNDC, anytime RNDC also can create RNDC service as well. And now in my case here, I will show you two kinds. First, here I have the existing DNS Jones. So here I will create one more John. So now let's try to create master John first. Okay, click. So in my case, domain name and network. Okay, so here forward or reverse. In my case, I will create the forward John and the domain name. In my case, john.com. And the view, this one will be included to the internal. Okay. And the record file, the automatic, and the master will be NS. Okay. And the email address, okay, root.church.com. And use John the template. No, if you have John template, then you can use it anywhere. And and the other reverse for template address, yes, and the refresh expiring, the transfer, the retry negative cast is the default. And after that, you can create. So now here, I already create the John, this one, john.com. So here, let's try to address name, for example, www.john.com. And this one has IP address 192.168.86 here. And the time to leave, this one default, and the updated was yes, okay, great. So now I can see this one. So this one, and this one, john.com in view, internal view. And here we can create many kinds. So I already create an address. And if I want to create the name server, this one. So name server also has this one, john.com. So this one, John name already, name server record for this one, name server this one. For this the domain, I had this one. Okay, and mail server as well, and the other host informations, any information you can add here. And one more thing. So now I create one more John here, DNS John, and let's try to add more information for existing to the existing, in my case, child.com. So now I have, for example, like address. So I had this kind of address like this. So here, let's try to add, in my case, test.com and the IP address 89 and the time to leave is okay, great. So now I can see here test.com, test.com. If we want to delete, in my case here, just delete. Then only one. So now I create this kind of the information in the existing John. For example, like the child.com. So here I add one more address here, testchild.com. And if I want to delete, for example, game.child.com, I will delete this one. Okay. Okay, here, existing DNS Johns, I add one more john.com, and I already add one more address here. So now, then let's go to the console. Okay, now in the name.conf, so you can see this new John, like this, john.com master and the file and this one. Okay, and after that, let's check var named. And here, first, Charles John internal. So here I can find here test, like this. And I already delete the game. And cat john.com internal host. So now this one, john.com domain name, and the name server, this one, and the default, the ID or the fresh numbers, and the domain, name server, and address, like this. So if you use webmin, then anytime you can add or modify or delete more information about this kind of DNS servers. Okay, this one webmin and the DNS bind editor. This one is a bind easy editor. This is a kind of editor, but this one is a commercial version, but support trial version for 30 days. So if you want to use this one, first download from this website dnsbindeditor.com. In my case, this is a Linux version, so Linux version will have this name, the JVM, the install like this. And if we want to use this one, first, you have to get the evaluation, the license from this website. And after that, after download this package, you have to change the permission 755. And after that, in my case, I copy this one to this directory USR local SRC. And after that, if you start like this, then this one will start the installation. Okay, then let's try to use DNS SR. Okay, so in my case, I already downloaded this one, DNS bind editor, Linux JVM, the install version 2.3.0. And you have to give the permission first after download. And after that, now I'm staying here. Then let's start just the DNS. Okay, then DNS bind editor install next. And agree next. And directory installation directory, in my case, USR local DNS bind editor. Okay, install. Okay, finish. So now USR local okay, I'm staying here. So in this directory, we can find this kind of file and directory. So now let's start. Okay, If you open this file at first time, maybe this one need the evaluation, the license. So in my case, if you download this package from this website, then you need to register your name and the email address. Then this website will send this kind of the license file. So you need this kind of license file. So at first time, if you open like this, then this one will request this license. So please add or just point this license file. Then the DNS bind editor will start like this. Okay, first let's there are three kinds menu here: the open, new, and wizard. If you don't have any the file, for example like a name.conf, then normally you can use this one, new or wizard like this. But in my case I already have, so I will use open this one. So in my case, now let's try to etc named. Okay, then let's try to open the file here, or in my case, I had name.conf, rndc-conf, and rndc key. So let's try to open the named.conf from the etc, okay, here. So now I can see the default options here, and click the preview. Then I can see view and each zone as well when key as well. So here, for example, let's try to, in my case, this one, the child.com is the forward zone. So here, the name server and the email address and the serial also, and the other time or TTL like this, and the A record. So now I have this kind of the record. So if I want to add one more, the record, for example, like a game, then the IP address 10, okay, like this. Then you can see here, game 192.168.10, John default like this. And okay, the replicate this one for the PTL for pointer, this one. And the CNAME, if you want, here you can create the CNAME as well. And the MX. So now in my case, I have the two kinds, the MX. So here MS1 and MS2 like this. NS also, the NS and NS2, two kinds, the name server. And the TXT I don't have. So now I also here the add this one game. So now the internal view. So there are only the forward zone, this one. And if I want to the new zone, so here create a new zone. Okay, so in my case, let's try to zone.com, and this one has the name. In my case, then I will decide the zone.com and the zone file. So I don't have. So let's try to open this one. So here, let's open. Okay. So here, zone.com. Okay, save. Okay. So now I create one more the zone, and this one has a file as well. So here I can create, for example, authoritative name server, char.com, and the email address and the root.char.com, and the A record also I can create. So now let's try to www.john.com and IP address. Okay, this one. So now I create this one and replicate also for the reverse lookup. And if I want to one more, okay, name will be Okay, John.com. Okay, new. So now again, John.com. Okay, new. So and I have and okay, John.com. And after that, new here okay, ns.char.com. Okay, so this one has 5. Okay, new. So now I create the web server, and for this domain is a name server like this. And also I can create domain. Okay, mail server. This one. Okay, new. So now for this domain, okay, now I have john.com. For this domain is a name server, this one, ms1char.com. Okay, so now I create this one. And the second, this one is a preference will be 10. Okay, okay. So now I create two. For this domain, john.com, mail server will be ms1.char.com. And okay, I'm sorry, this one, ms2 for john.com. Okay, I don't have this one. Okay, this one, let's delete. Okay, let's try to only use. And if I want to add the ns name server, ns.com, domain is john.com. Okay. Now for this domain name server will be this one. So using this one anytime you can add or the edit the reverse lookup as well. So nx and the ptr record like this. And the external is similar. So char.com name server anytime you can add what delete is so here. So if we want to delete anytime, just select, and after that just delete like this. Okay, let's try to name the conf. In this file, but so far I don't have the new John, the john.com. So if you maybe this one, okay, file, and after that save, and after that okay, let's quit. Sure, yes. So here I can find this kind of the file, but here I don't have only the file name is john.com. So using this one, you can create the new John or new the record like this. But when you use this one, you have to be careful because if you use this one, sometimes this one change your name server domain configuration like this. So in this case, when you create or save, always be careful not to duplicate or modify main configuration file. Okay, so far I show you how to use the DNS bind editor as well. Okay, so far I explain and show how to use the DNS server with the bind. In the part 1, the essential DNS functions such as DNS service and the default terms and the bind installation and the startup. And the essential DNS functions in the part 2, like creating joins, forward, and reverse, and adding joins or load sharing, especially master and slave name search. In part 3, advanced DNS functions such as bind ACL, speed DNS like a view, and dynamic DNS server, we call it the DDNS. And the client tools like NS lookup, dig, and host. In part 4, DNS security, TSIG, and DNS security, and RNDC service, some DNS security issues, and also DNS cache poisoning. In the last part, I explained the webmin and DNS bind editor. Thank you for watching my video so far, and God bless you. See you next time.